Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. This is Mr. VP. Today what we have in our hands is a very special figure. This is the S.H.Monsterarts Godzilla 2019. This is a specialty company that Bandai produces. Very quality figures. I've purchased many of them in the past, but I've never actually opened them up. Today that changes. I want to open this up and show you guys and show you just how nice S.H.Monsterarts figures really are. So this is the 2019 Godzilla. So you see the very similar bluish gray packaging, although this packaging differs very significantly from the rest of the Godzilla 2019 lineup. You still do have the Godzilla logo in the top right corner for the movie. You've got the Monsterverse logo. You've got a very nice picture of the figure itself posing in a roar pose. And then Godzilla 2019 written there. And then you've got some various logos down the bottom. And some more on the bottom left. On the side, it shows Godzilla in his signature pose from Godzilla 2019, where he's about to blast his atomic breath into the sky. And then also says S.H.Monsterarts Godzilla 2019 as well on there. And then on the other side, you just have the name and the Monsterverse logo. On the bottom, you do have a lot of information, most of which is not in English. So I'm not sure what most of it says. However, I do know that it says to, not place it on top of plastic furniture, sofa, sheet, tile, or anything made of resin because it might cause color migration. That basically means that the color from this figure, if you leave it on certain materials, it might actually stain into the other materials, which is interesting. I've never seen that warning on an action figure before. And there's the barcode if you need it. And on the back of the box, you get several poses that you can make with this Godzilla. And you're not limited to these. You can make pretty much any pose you want since there are so many points of articulation. And then a bunch of information in different languages on the bottom. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the packaging. Godzilla himself looks very nice, although there's a lot of glare because of the lighting in here. It's very difficult to actually make out the figure himself. He does include a plastic atomic breath piece that you can attach to his mouth, so that should look pretty cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the packaging. Let's take it out and get a closer look. Alright guys, well here he is outside of the packaging, and what he comes with is this nice beam of atomic breath, and it won't go into this mouth, but what they've included is they've included a separate interchangeable lower jaw in which you remove the original jaw, plug this in, and then you can go ahead and fit this big assembly right into that, which is really cool. So yeah, we'll show that off in just a minute here, but first, as I said, this is my first S.H.Monsterarts figure that I've taken out of the packaging, and I have to say that I'm literally blown away by the quality here. Now, I've always thought that like the NECA figures were much nicer looking because they don't have 9 million points of articulation. And obviously, if you're going to have that much articulation, you're going to have all kinds of noticeable seams and gaps and all that. But really, it's really worth it. I mean, honestly, you can do some wacky, crazy poses with this figure. Stuff that you would only be able to dream of. I mean, it's really awesome. And I never knew that. I never realized that there was that much posability. I mean, I guess I knew there was a bunch of articulation, but to this extent, I had no idea. Like, you can get wild with this guy. It's awesome. Especially for someone like me, because I do eventually want to start making stop motion animation videos. I know I keep saying that, but that's one of my favorite things to do with video, and a figure like this would make it so much easier. You can make subtle little movements just by turning one little segment. Man, that is a really cool figure. But let's talk about that articulation. So, as always, we'll start in the back. So, starting with the tail, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, so you have 21 points of articulation just in the tail alone, which is just insanity. Insanity. I mean, that's really cool. So you can probably spin this thing pretty far around. I'm not sure if you'd want to, but it seems like you could definitely squeeze it over. So that's pretty cool. Moving upwards, you actually do have a separate hip assembly from the tail and the body. And technically that part doesn't move, but you can move all the parts around it. And moving forward from that, we've got the legs. And the legs are on a really nice ball swivel. So you get nice rotation. You can go inside and outside. Really good range of motion. And then as you move down towards the knee, you actually have an independent knee joint. So you get good motion there as well. Again, it feels like it's on another ball. And then you have the lower leg, which moves separately from the knee. You do have pretty good motion on that as well, some side to side. And then moving forward, you've got basically the ankle area, which that will rotate around and also hinge sideways, so that's got to be another ball joint. And then finally down to the foot, so the foot will rotate pretty far around. And then there's this nice logo on the bottom there. I'll see if I can zoom in. It says Legendary, trademarks, and China. Okay. And then moving forward, you've got the upper torso, and this whole piece swings around, and you do have some in and out, side to side motion. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And then just beyond that, you do have another separate section, and you do have good range of motion on that one as well. And then moving towards the arms, you have a shoulder, which is on a ball, so you can move all the way around, in and out. Very cool. And then down to the elbow area, there's one joint right there. You can rotate and also move side to side, so it's another ball joint. And down to the forearm, same thing. Looks like you have good range of motion there. Spin around if you'd like. And then down to the hand. So the hand spins all the way around. Doesn't seem to have too much wiggle room, just a little bit there, so maybe that joint is tight, or maybe it's not made to, maybe it's not on a ball like some of the other joints are. Okay, moving up to the neck assembly. So we've got this joint here. Whoops, head came off. And then this joint here, and then you've got another joint or independent piece right before the head, and then you've got the head itself, and all of these will rotate a little bit. But up at the head, you've got a beautiful face sculpt, and the eyes are beautiful, very nice. So the head will rotate all the way around because it is on a ball. And the jaw has very good range of motion as well. Okay. So now as far as that replacement or replaceable jaw, this just pops right off. With a little bit of jiggling and wiggling. And then, whoops. This other jaw, I like to take the ball joint and move it upwards, and then see if I can zoom in there, fit it into the ball inside of the upper jaw. So we're just going to force that into place. You should feel it click in. I get that a little high. Try it now. There we go. Alright, so that's nice and clicked in, so it does have that starting of the atomic breath. And then if we add the larger piece inside of that. Okay, so now we have the whole thing. Very nice. So let's see if we can get him into his iconic movie poster straight up into the sky pose. And to do that, we're going to have to shift all of these body panels upwards until we get to the head. Oops, and we pop the head off again. Okay. Alright, so I think we've achieved it. He's shooting up pretty much straight into the sky. That is very awesome. Definitely something you can't do with a NECA figure. Head definitely likes to pop off when you try and contort it like that. Okay. That back in. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So now we've talked about articulation. Another important feature of this figure is the paintwork. So very similar to the NECA is the paint finish. So this paint is pretty much flat. So it doesn't have much shine except in a couple spots. It does have a little bit of shine. Not sure why there's just those spots that have the shine and not the rest of it, but that's totally fine. So it's got this almost like a flat, primary body color, and then a hand brushed dark charcoal gray color, which looks really nice. And then there are some other details painted on, like the chest has like that gold, a little bit of gold paint there. Same thing under the neck. And then the toes have this nice bronzy look to them, some black streaks. Definitely looks very realistic. Same thing with the fingernails. But where I feel like this figure really shines is the head sculpt. I mean, the paintwork on this is very nice. So, let's see if I can zoom in on the eye. So that tiny itty bitty little eyeball, I know it's, there we go. It looks really good in person. I'm not sure how it's going to come through on the video, but it's very sharp. It's very clean looking, and it looks proportional to the movie. The NECA figure, I feel like the eye is just a little bit too big and looks a little goofy. This nails it. This is a very nice painted eye. And then the mouth, the teeth look beautiful. Very small, very sharp, and got a nice white ivory coat on them. And then the tongue and the inside of the mouth is painted a very nice glossy red. Looks very realistic, very nice. Okay, so let's do some comparisons with some other figures. Alright, so first up, we'll show them off with the Bandai Godzilla 2019. This is basically about the same scale. I think they're both 6-inch figures technically. And it's just really funny how different these figures really are when they technically have the same parent company. So this is Bandai, and then this is a subsidiary of Bandai called S.H.Monsterarts. And this is amazing. But as far as sizing, they are pretty close. There is a ton more detail on the S.H.Monsterarts one, but for the most part, they are the same size. Okay. Alright, next up we will show the NECA Mothra figure. And I'll have to pluck him off his base, or pluck her off her base for that. And that's a pretty good size. Okay. And next up we'll show him with the 6-inch Rodan figure by Jakks Pacific. And that looks really cool. And next up we have the 6-inch King Ghidorah, also by Jakks Pacific. Very cool. And lastly, we'll show him with the NECA Godzilla 2019. So, I don't know which one I like better at this point. I guess it depends. So, if you're just displaying the figure and you don't want to see a lot of articulation points or gaps or seams, I would say go with the NECA, because there are much less lines. There's not cuts in the figure to be able to manipulate it into all different positions. However, if you wanted to do movie accurate poses, you're not going to be able to do many of them with the NECA. You just can't do that. Shooting the fire up into the sky pose is just no way. It just will not even come close to his head standing straight up. So they both are beautiful figures. I mean, really, very, very nice. I do like the head sculpt on the S.H.Monsterarts version better. I wish you could just increase the size of it a little. It looks a little bit small compared to this massive body, whereas on the NECA version, it looks proportional. It looks like it's a really good size. But they are both beautiful figures in their own way. And exactly the same size, I should mention. Alright. Alright guys, well that is pretty much it for today's video. Thank you so much for checking it out, I really appreciate it. If you have any questions about this or any of the other reviews that I've done, please don't hesitate to leave a comment down below and ask away. If you have any special requests, I do love taking those as well. If you'd like to see this figure with any of the other ones that maybe I didn't show, please let me know and I'll definitely do that for you. And also, let me know in the comment section below, is this a figure you're going to be picking up? I mean, for me, pretty much anything Godzilla 2019 I'm all about. This is my first S.H.Monsterarts figure, as I've said, that I'm actually taking out, and I'm probably going to display in that iconic movie pose of the head straight up. So I can't wait to use this thing in some stop motions. It's going to make my life so much easier when it comes to editing. And so yeah, please stay subscribed, please like the video, and tell your friends if they're Godzilla fans. Let them know that I'm doing even more content coming soon. And also, if you've been following me for a long time, I'm very happy to announce that I just obtained the holy grail of all Jurassic World figures. If you've been following me for a while, you know I am a huge fan of the Indominus Rex, and this figure does not disappoint. So I will be reviewing and unboxing this one very soon. Can't wait to show you guys the differences between that and some of the other Indominus Rexes out there. This is the best one I've ever seen, so stay tuned for that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.